Hello, good morning. Here we are again. Told y'all I was going to try to start getting on here and doing this more. So here I am. What are y'all up to? I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this light here. It's kind of bright. I got the rest of the lights in my room off. I control it through an app on my phone though. So let me see what we got here. What are y'all up to? There's a couple of you in here. What's up, y'all? Hang on. Let me try to get this light here. Hang on a second. Hello, morning, y'all. Morning. Hang on. Hold up. It's connected. Okay. Hang on a second. I got this set of lights that I got right here is Bluetooth. I have to have my phone to connect it. Can y'all hear me? Is the mic too far away? Oh man, connection failed. What's going on? There we go. Watch this. Check this out. Woo, now it's white. Now it's yellow. And I can even do. Whoa, look at that. Look at all these different colors you can make it. Check this out. Now it's blue. And we got green, yellow. Isn't that wild? Woo. Check it out. All right, hang on. Whoa. No. Okay, there we go. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. Let's dim it down a little bit. No. There we go. Okay, whatever. That's better. That's more pleasant. Y'all still see me, right? Anyway. Good morning. Oh, I didn't get on here last weekend because Kelly was over here. And the guest bedroom is like right across the hall there. So I'll probably make noise, and I don't make noise in the morning whenever guests are over. So that's why I wasn't on here last weekend. Oh, anyway, what y'all up to, man? You got any fun plans for the weekend? Yeah, this is my money tree. It's a big one too. I never seen one that big. We were shopping at Lowe's, and Leah goes, "You want that for your office?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" It's a big old son bitch. I never seen a money tree this big before. It's real too. It's not a fake plant. That's a real one. Anyway. Oh, what y'all up to, man? I don't even know what we're doing today. Oh, we got a soccer game today. That's right. This is Saturday. Okay. And it takes me at least like 2 hours to wake up in the morning. Uh, yeah, these money trees are cool, ain't they? I dig them. I don't know why. Why do they call it a money tree? I don't even know. I have no idea. That's literally what they're called, though. I just think it's cool how the trunks are braided together. So it's like three trunks and they're wound together and it just looks cool, you know? Oh man, you're worried about the cold? I love the cold, man. Of course, it's probably a lot colder wherever you are, though, isn't it? Probably a lot colder wherever you are. I like the winter here in Vegas, dude. I love it. I love it. That's kind of like what we were talking about last time about moving. I think that's like one of our biggest concerns is what kind of climate do we want to deal with, you know? I don't even know if we're going to be leaving Vegas. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's such a toss up, but the weather is a big thing that we're thinking about. It's like you have two choices: desert or non-desert. In the desert, the summer sucks. It's hot, boy. But the winter is pleasant, you know? And any other non-desert is the opposite. Winter sucks when you're not in the desert, but summer is pleasant, you know? So it's like flip-flopped around. It's like, which one do you want to suck wherever you want to move to, you know? So I dig this because you know what reminds me of? It reminds me of fall where I'm from. And that's everybody's favorite season is fall. So, it gets to that hoodie and jeans weather and it pretty much just stays like that, you know? Stays like that all winter long. It's just hoodie and jeans weather. It's weird, man. I like it though. Yeah, we were thinking about going to Utah, and then we actually picked out a city that we were thinking about moving to, and we went and stayed the night there just to see. And then for some reason, we just decided, no, no, we don't really want to do that. I don't remember why. So we don't know, man. It's still hanging up in the air, up in limbo. Still hanging up in the air, up in limbo. I mean, because and then another thing that we keep talking about is the fact that we have no reason to move. The only reason that we would move is because we're fucking bored. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. And to both of us, we both agree that that's not a very good reason, you know? Somebody just ordered a reading. Hang on. That's no reason. You know what I mean? So we're like, well, what do we do then? Because, we're good where we're at, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I like the West. Yeah, I like the West a lot better. I tell you what, if you have asthma, you take cordyceps mushrooms. Yup. You go order you some cordyceps mushrooms. They come in little pills. You take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. Bet you, if you do that every single day, in less than 2 weeks, you'll throw your inhaler away. Bet you. Bet you. I tell people that, and nobody wants to listen to me. But the few handful of people that I've gotten to talk into it, they threw their inhaler in the trash. Because I had asthma when I was a kid, and like it was like bad, life threatening bad. I had real bad. I was one of them kids, dude. My allergies. I was on so many different medications. I couldn't walk into a room with a cat, and my whole fucking face would swell up. My eyes would swell shut. My throat would swell shut, and it was bad when I was a kid, dude. And then I grew out of it. Poof! It all disappeared and went away. So I thought I'm good. Soon as I turned 30, the year I turned 30, my asthma came back. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, I was fucking broke. I was working at that car wash. I was like, I cannot afford no asthma right now. Are you kidding me? And so that's when I was living up in Maine. And there was this little old teeny weeny rinky dink natural food store, like a natural, you know what I mean? Natural food, natural herbs and whatnot. And I thought, well, this is my only shot. I'm gonna try to see if I can find something in there. And it was a teeny little, man, it wasn't too much fucking bigger than this room, dude. It was a little bitty place. And I'm looking around in there, and the little old dude behind the counter, he's like, "What can I help you find?" And I said, "Oh man, I'm having some breathing problems. I got like asthma, and I'm trying to find something that's good for breathing." He goes, "Oh, you have asthma? Here, take these. I know 3 people with asthma and emphysema, and they started taking these, and it went away." And when I heard that, my first thought is, "Oh, whatever, dude. Asthma doesn't just go away. That's bullshit. But I was so desperate at the time. I was like, I'll try anything. I don't care. I'll try it. I will try it. And dude, my asthma was bad. Like I'm having to hit this inhaler like every couple hours, every hour. You know what I mean? Oh, it was bad. And so I started taking it like 2 in the morning, 2 at night. And I already had a little thing of supplements that I was taking every morning anyway. So I just added that to it. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, about a week and a half, I noticed I haven't hit that inhaler in a while. Hmm. Gone. 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 Cordyceps mushrooms, dude. Poof. Went away. That's why I try to tell everybody. Most people just don't listen. They're like, yeah, whatever. Same way that I did. Yeah, I was just acting out of desperation. But every now and then I'll get somebody like I up in Idaho. Remember when I was staying with Tina? Remember that? She had asthma. She had an inhaler she carried around in her purse. And I said, just try it. I'll buy them for you. I'll buy them for you. Just try it. Just promise me you'll try it. Take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. She said, I've had this inhaler for 20 years. She threw it away. Threw it away. I was like, yep. And that's one of them things. It's like, man, why doesn't everybody know about that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, what y'all up to? Who are you talking about? Case from Everyday Masters? What I miss? Oh, his you talking about his little Galactic Federation. Man, Case is cool, dude. That's funny as fuck. I haven't even talked to him because I wanna pick his brain. I mean, I got his number. I could text him, but I wanted to pick his brain sometime. Like, where the hell did you come up with that video idea? You know, that was funny as hell. He's a creative dude, man. He's a creative ass dude. He's got all kinds of cool ideas. And I mean, it was kind of like his internet presence. Like it was an accident for him too. Like it's just so funny how many people that happens to. He just put up a couple of videos and they blew up, and and then he started making his vid. And that's how I found him. I had never heard of anybody talking about the things that he talks about. When I was very first introduced to spirituality, like I would see it on Facebook, and it it like something resonated with me, about awakening and light workers and stuff like that, and I was like, man, that something drew me to that. And then when I saw his video on YouTube, I was like, I've never heard anybody actually talking about this, you know? And I don't know. He was definitely one of the ones on my journey that inspired me. That's one of the coolest things about the past few years of my life. If I take a look back at my journey and all the people that influenced me, the influencers on the internet, I've gotten to connect with and meet and work with like almost all of them. Almost all of them, That's just a weird feeling. Strange feeling because I was just in that position where, that's just somebody I'm never gonna meet. Never gonna meet that person, I'm just a viewer that, like all the other hundreds of thousands of people that view them, they ain't never gonna know who I am. How when you have that feeling, it's like, "Oh, I'm never gonna meet that person. But I've gotten to meet like almost all of them. It's fucking wild. I'm like, damn, dude. But yeah, man, Case, we went up, man, dude. He gave me some shrooms. He gave me some shrooms. I went up there and visited him in Colorado. You know, he was like, "Oh, you eat these?" He grew them. I was like, "Holy shit!" So me and him both ate shrooms and went around walking around the town tripping. It was fun stuff, but it kind of tripped me out a little bit. Like he's a character he's hanging out with him in real life is very different than hanging out with any other person. He's very, very different. Like, because I remember we was at his house and he was like saying something to the effect of, "Do you want to go out and do something? Hang out on the town?" I'd never been to this town. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we get ready. We rented a car. So we get in my car, and I turn the car on, and I'm like, "So, where are we going?" He goes, "I don't know." I looked at him. I was like, "Which way should I go?" He goes, "I don't know." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't know. Let's just go somewhere." I don't know. Let's just go somewhere. Let's just see. And that blew my mind. I'm like, okay. So we just drove like randomly. He's like, I don't know. Maybe there's something that way. And like we didn't. He's not one of those people. We didn't make this plan. We have to do this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, so you're one of those types of people that let's just do whatever feels right. And that's what we did. And then the mushrooms kicked in, and it was an interesting night, man. Very interesting. Anyway, though, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on here. Let's see about 14 minutes. Okay. Anyway, I know it just scared me though because I was in a town that I didn't know. I'd never been there before. So I don't know. Neat little town too. You know what was funny? Like the few times I've been to Colorado, like it looks very like mountainy and fucking gorgeous. The place where he is though looks just like where I grew up though. There might be one little bitty thing of mountains off way in the distance, but it looks just like the town I grew up in. It looks just like it. So I was like, man, this feels very similar to home. And we've thought about moving to Colorado. We've thought about it. We've thought about that. Wintertime, though. Wintertime ain't no joke, yo. Ain't no joke. Wintertime in Colorado. I don't know. We might just stay here. Might stay here. I don't know. But, because we got the kids too, and they make friends and whatnot. And this is Vegas. So this is a big city. This is a big city. So, like, no matter where we move, the kids are probably going to have to change schools unless we stay here in Henderson, Kids will probably have to change schools. I don't know. I don't know. There's only there's only two areas in Vegas that are nice, and that's Henderson and Summerlin. And those are on like opposite ends. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only, from what I've seen so far living here, those are the only two nice areas of Vegas. And when we were first thinking, we've decided not to buy a house too, by the way. We decided against that. But when we were thinking about it, I was thinking, well, let's go out there and look in the Summerlin area because we have a friend out there. We had a friend out there, and that friend actually like is a real estate person, out there in that area. And I don't know. We just kind of said, well, if we're going to move, should we pack the kids up and move them on the opposite end of town for what? Just because we're bored? I don't know, man. It's one of them things. It's probably like, how I always tell you, like, wait and see what door opens, be comfortable in the unknown. This is one of those things in my own life where I'm having to just hang it up in the air. Like, I don't know. We'll just see what door the universe opens when the time comes, And I don't know, finding that comfort and just being able to sit back and say, oh, well, let's just live in the moment. That's hard, man. It's harder than you think. You hear people say it all the time. It sounds cool, but to actually do it is hard. Knowing that something's coming, you don't know what it is. I don't know what's coming. Something's coming. We might be moving, we might be staying. Who knows? And if we move, where are we going? Are we staying in Vegas, or are we moving to Colorado or Utah or Texas, or where are we going? We've thought about Texas too. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it is fun to just drive with no destination. I should probably do that this morning. This is the only time in Vegas where the streets are going to be clear in the morning, It's fun, though. It's fun stuff. Oh, yeah. You do the daily healing sessions. Yeah, those are fun, man. Those are fun. Those are super fun. Like, I remember the first time, man, I just didn't expect it. Oh, and fucking Reiki, dude. This is the thing, because I remember when I was very first listening to Case's stuff and getting into reconnected healing, and you would always see these people in the comments saying, oh, it's just Reiki. And Case would kind of get a little bit irritated. It's not Reiki. And you could hear kind of the frustration in his voice. And I'm thinking, at the time, I'm like, why? Who cares? Now I get it. So obviously, this was like a year ago, I think January, almost a year ago, that we got reconnected. And then here recently, Leah has a friend who is like a Reiki person. And he gave us a session. And I remember thinking, okay, well, this is how I'm going to find out, first of all, what Reiki's even all about. And second of all, if it's even different from because I feel the reconnective healing frequencies all the time. All the time. Like, if I sit right now, I can feel it in my hands all the time. It just becomes a part of you, And every single day, not a day passes that I don't cut myself an hour of time and just lay down, pull the frequencies in and bathe in them. Just buzzing from head to toe, dude. Lips buzzing, cheeks buzzing, jaw gets locked up, feet buzzing, hands, and just, I do that every single day. So I'm thinking, am I going to be able to tell the difference between the reconnective healing frequencies and Reiki? So I laid down for this Reiki session, and I totally tranced out, dude. It feels similar Very, very similar, but it's a big difference. If you know what the reconnected healing frequencies feel like, and then you get a Reiki session, you can tell the difference between Reiki and reconnective healing. And Case did a video too, where he's done a lot of research on. There have been scientists who research this shit, and instrument the frequencies. And it's a real frequency. It's not no bullshit. They can instrument it, they can measure it. And if I remember correctly, he said something to the effect of Reiki is an electromagnetic field that you're accessing, and reconnective healing is a magneto, whatever that means. Electromagnetic and magneto, because it feels like magnets. That's what it feels like. If you could imagine you had magnets on your hands, and when you go to put two magnets together of the same pole, how they push away from each other, that's what it feels like. Like you can sit back with your hands up like this, and then it literally feels like you have a magnet pushing your hand. Like, it scared me at first. Like, it literally, legitimately scared the shit out of me, because my arm started moving by itself. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, it scared me. I'm sitting here watching my arm do this. I'm not doing it. I'm not moving my arm. It scared the shit out of me. And I wrote him. I texted him. I was like, is that normal? He laughed at me. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's normal then. I guess that's normal. Scared me though, dude. Scared me. Yeah, Colorado is beautiful though, isn't it? It is. I think that's a state I wouldn't mind living in. It's just, again, the winter. The winter, dude. It's the winter. I mean, I'm okay with the winter, I guess. Leah doesn't like. She's a SoCal girl. So she's not down with that, like a real, real legit ass winter. I told her, I was like, man, we move anywhere else, you'll have to deal with that winter time. 3-4 months of bone chilling cold, up in Maine, dude. Holy fuck. I didn't know how cold it gets some places. It was -40. -40, dude. Holy shit. I'd never felt anything that cold in my life. I thought I was going to die. It was so cold. The girl I was dating up there in Maine, she just got a brand new car. Brand fucking new. It was so cold, the engine wouldn't start. It wouldn't start. It was too cold. So I had to walk like maybe 2 blocks. Like, we lived right down the street from where I worked. The car wash I worked at, we lived right around the corner from it, so I could literally walk there in like 5-6 minutes. It was like a 2-block walk. I almost didn't make it. I made it like 1 block, and I stopped, and it felt like I had ice picks in my eyeballs, dude. I had on like coveralls, hoodies, like 3-4 pair of jeans, and it did, man, cut straight through that like a razor blade, dude. Like, no amount of clothes. And I remember I got halfway there and I stopped. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. And then I looked around and I'm like, I don't have a choice. Like, if I stop now, I'm gonna die. I had to force myself to, like, oh, it was bad, man. It was bad. Boulder, Colorado? I don't think I've been there. I've been through Denver. Denver's pretty. It's pretty. It's like a I mean, basically all like cities in America, I think, except for the big cities. All the, like, Denver and Louisville and Columbus and Nashville, they're all kind of the same. They all kind of have the same vibe. And it kind of reminded me of just a beautiful, clean, pristine Louisville is what it reminded me of. So I don't know because I like a mixture of the two. I don't want to. I mean, this is the only thing that sucks about being in Vegas is it's so crowded, dude. But at the same time, I don't know if I would want to just, because Leah keeps talking about wanting to just live in the country. I've never been really a country boy growing up. I didn't like it. My grandparents were country folks that grew up on farms, and they would always take us out camping in the country. And after a while, it would get boring. I didn't like it. So I'm thinking I want to kind of like a mixture between the two. I want to kind of maybe live somewhere where there's country and fields and stuff, but if you get bored and you want something to do, and there's a city close by. That's kind of what I would like to, kind of what I'd like to do. And I don't know, man. I don't know. See, we get on here, we get to talking about this, and it gets me racking my brain. Gets me racking my brain. I don't know. I love it here though. Whenever we do move, I'm gonna miss this house. I'm gonna miss it here. I'm gonna miss it just because this is the most stable I've ever been in my adult life. Ever. Ever. Ever, ever. In April, it'll be 3 years that we've lived here in this one spot. 3 years, dude. 3 years in one spot? It's never happened in my whole adult life. Ever. So I think that's probably why we do choose to move from here. I'll miss it. There, we have no legitimate complaints. None. We're just bored. We're just bored. We don't have any legit complaints, man. We have a gorgeous, beautiful neighborhood, and our neighbors are so cool, and they're all elderly. Like, I got a loud car. My Camaro is loud. It's fucking loud, dude. And they love it. Most neighbors will bitch about a loud car. I come pulling up in my fucking MBRP exhaust on my 6.2, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds good. We love your car." And I'm like, dude, that is such a blessing. Seems like any other neighborhood, neighbors would bitch about that. You know, you see people have a car like that, and neighbors will usually come out and write a note. Your car is too loud, and like bitchy Karens and shit. My neighbors are so cool. It's like literally the only reason why we're gonna move is because we're bored. So anyway, Pennsylvania. I don't know how big on the East Coast I am. I don't know. Mm, I don't know. The vibe. I've always said what I would love to have. I would love to have like a little place that I could go to on the East Coast for like a temporary period of time. That's what I'd love to have. Like up New England, up there in like New England and that area up there in the map. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous for a temporary period of time until winter time comes along. So I was like, man, it'd be cool if we had like a little cabin or something like that, like up there and up there on the East Coast somewhere. So for fall, whenever the end of winters, or I'm sorry, the end of summer is coming along, we could just go up there and stay for fall for a few months, and then as soon as winter hits, come back to Vegas. You know, that's an idea we were tossing around, but I don't know. Again, we'll just see. We'll just see. I don't. The more time I see. I don't want to sit around and try to think about it too much. You got to find that balance of how much brain power you want to give to thinking about it. Because if you think about it too much, you'll get in your own way. You'll reverse manifest it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in my own way. So I've been practicing, just setting that intention and letting it go. All right, universe, you know what we want. You're just going to give us whatever. I'm not trying too hard to figure it out. That's what happened with this house here. I think I told y'all we almost had this little house in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And it was so cool, dude. I loved it so much. And then somebody came and snatched it right out from under us because of the date, the move-in date. I don't know why the hell Leah didn't put ASAP, and said, when are you trying to move in? ASAP. I don't know why she didn't put that. But she didn't put that on the application. She put a certain date or whatever. And then this other couple that came and looked at it right after us put a sooner move-in date than we did. So since they put the sooner move-in date, they got it. I was pissed. Oh, I was pissed. I love this little house, dude. And it was small too. It was a small little house. It wasn't nothing big and fancy, but it was pretty. And we didn't get it. So I remember I just had to let it go and release it and said, whatever. All right, universe, you know what we want. Fuck it. And then that's when she said, hey, they got nice houses in Vegas. You want to go to Vegas? I was like, I don't give a shit where we go. Don't matter to me. And this is how we got in here. We didn't even get to tour the house until the move-in date because of the fucking lockdowns and shit, That was a big mess. We moved in the middle, right when all that first started. All that lockdowns and all that bullshit. That's why we couldn't get in anywhere. It was so hard to find a place to let us move. So anyway, Anyway, yeah, Massachusetts. Yeah, the good old fucking East Coast vibes, man. I like the vibe up. It's different. It's just different, you know. And it really is. If you've never been to the West Coast, it's a completely different energy. Completely different. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how to put words to it. It's like the East Coast is really fast paced, you know? And I know when I say that, probably the first thing you're going to think about is New York City, but I'm not even talking about the city. Up there in Maine, dude. Up there in Maine where we lived. Like, it's just like, I don't know about the whole state of Maine, but from what I saw of it, it's just the fucking forest, dude. It's just the forest with a couple little towns placed in the forest. It's the most nature I've ever seen in my life. And they're fast paced up there. I mean, this looks like you go driving up into Maine, it looks like the most backwoodsy, rednecky, tiny town vibe that you've ever seen. But these people are so fast paced, fast, 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 fast. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, fast, fast, fast paced, and that's so backwoodsy up there. People didn't even have central air. You know, I remember the first. Some of y'all heard me tell this story, but I remember when I first moved in up there, and where I come from, it's not uncommon if you're in like a poor neighborhood, like people don't have much money, that they will not run their AC. You know, they will run it at the bare minimum that, you know, and you just sit around in the heat and in the hot and you just got to deal with it. Because, you know, that's usually when you walk into somebody's house in the summertime and it's hot in that house, you know, you're poor. You know that that's a poor person because they don't want to run the AC. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, okay, well, she probably doesn't make very much money, and you know, I just want to be respectful and deal with it. And I remember after I got that job at that car wash, which I got almost immediately, like almost immediately. And I just couldn't take it one day. And I said, look, can we please run the AC? I will pay the bill. I don't care what the bill is. The bill is on me, all me. I will pay the electric bill. And she said, AC, what are you talking about? I said, the AC, can we please turn it on? She's like, we ain't got no AC. I was like, what? My mind was blown. She said, people up here don't have ACs. I was like, what are you talking about? Every house has an AC. It's like every car has an AC. What do you mean? She goes, no, that's something only rich people have. I was like, what are you talking about? I thought she just didn't know what she was talking about. I said, okay, all right. I'm going to show you what an AC is the next time we drive past a house, you know? And I'll be damned. I'm looking at these houses. I'm like, they ain't got no AC. Ain't no AC units. They had these huge, what looked like gigantic propane tanks outside the house. And it was oil tanks. Oil. And that's what they used to run the heaters in the wintertime is oil. You know? And oil trucks go around and refill your oil tank. Like they have this shit in a truck and they drive around from house to house and from business to business refilling the oil tanks. And that's what you use to heat in the wintertime. I'm like, what the fuck kind of 1930 shit is this, you know? And that's just the way it is up there, man. It's fascinating. It was a culture shock. I would have to say, of all the places that I've visited and lived in and moved to, up there in Maine was the biggest culture shock that I've ever had in my life. They talk so fucking weird, you can't understand them. You like it, like they looked at me, they would look at me like they would crowd around me, like, where are you from? I'm like, what are you talking about? You all are the weirdest talking people in this whole country. And they, you know, it's just super fascinating, man. Super fascinating. I don't remember where I was going with that, but anyway. It's been a fun ride, Rebecca. It's been a very fun ride. Very fun ride. Well, I can't really say all fun and games all the time, but looking back, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, you gotta figure out how to let go, man. That's what you have to do. And I'm a stubborn ass. I'm a stubborn ass. So universe knew what type of situations it had to push me into to break me down. Because that's what has to be done. You know, you have to be able to let go. And I know that's not a There is science behind it too, but I'm not going to go down that road. But you have to be able to let go. If you can't let go, universe can't do nothing for you. And looking back, I really can't take a whole lot of credit for it because it's like so obviously planned out that all the situations I was put in my life, like it was literally, if I don't let go, I'm going to die. I cannot control this. I cannot make this happen the way that I want it to happen. I remember that day I finally threw my hands in the air and said, all right, well, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to force anything in my life. If you want to be a part of my life, cool. If not, bye. If I have to leave this place and leave everything behind, later, and I just had my running shoes on for so many years. And if you can maintain that, if you can maintain that relationship with the universe is like, I got you. Relax, I got you. So, yeah, it can be scary though. It can definitely be scary. I think that's probably one of the reasons why when I talk about like the spiritual path, I hammer on those things, and some people think that I'm just being negative. It's like, no, I'm not just being negative. What I'm doing is I want you to know that there is a negative aspect to it because everybody else tries to cover that up. You know, all the internet spiritual public figures, they just want to be like, oh la 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 la, like, and it's just light shining down, and then people get on the path, and the path is hard, and they freak out like, what am I doing wrong? How many people have come to me for readings and ask, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? I'm like, nothing's going wrong. You're not missing anything. You're trying too hard to control it is what you're doing. It's going to be a scary process. That's why I think any of you, if you ever get to that point where you're able to share your story with people and inspire them, don't just try to make it sound like it's all a walk through the park and easy breezy rainbows and unicorn farts, because doing that, I get it. The negative stuff is embarrassing. I get it. It is. Some of the stuff that I've been through is embarrassing, and I don't like to admit to it, but like if other people are listening to you, when you share your story, people are listening to that and they're using that as their survival guide. I did the same thing. And that's what would frustrate me so much on my path is that like all these things would start happening that nobody else talks about. Nobody talks about how whenever you start to change frequencies, you're probably going to separate from very close people, family members and whatnot. Nobody talks about whenever, if you set out to start manifesting money, you could easily end up manifesting getting fired from your job, and that's part of the process. Part of the process. If I make $40,000 a year and my goal is to make 400,000 and I start manifesting that, eventually that is such a quantum leap in timelines. Eventually I'm going to end up losing my job for some reason, and people just don't understand the negative things that come along with it. So that's why I'm trying to encompass the whole shebang of the manifestation path. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I know, and that helped me too, honestly, a lot. It does always help whenever you hear it from somebody else, and I'm still like that to this day. I'm still like that to this day. There are some times where I'll have to like listen because you get caught in your own little bubble, and then the ego starts coming up like, maybe you're just imagining all that, maybe you're just crazy, and that's the ego talking. And then that's when sometimes I'll have to pull up a video and listen to somebody else talk about their manifestation journey, and that inspires me to keep going. So I definitely think it is a thing that we all have to help each other do. Definitely. I mean, you'll see at the end of the day anyway, when you really start making shit happen in your life, you'll see that you can't really take the credit for it. I don't really feel like I can take the credit for it. The only thing I can take credit for doing is not trying, like letting go and not trying to control how things happen. That's the only thing I can really say that I did. State an intention. Okay, universe, this is what I want. I guess I'm going to try this. Let's see if this works. And if it don't work, okay, I'll try something else. Everything you try, every move you make, the universe sees it and it starts responding to it, you know? And that's the only thing I think anybody who's honest on the manifestation path can really say that they did was they just stopped trying to control their own life. They stopped trying to do that. I'm going to tell you what, right now, I seriously, firmly believe that if every human being on the planet could learn two things when the universe says yes and when the universe says no, those two things, if every human on this planet could identify when the universe is saying yes and when the universe is saying no, I feel safe saying a good probably 80 to 85 to 90% of your problems would fucking be gone. Poof, poof, you know? Relationships, come on, man. Whenever a soul contract is complete, we never leave when the soul contract's complete, do we? We never do that. Ever. Ever. But if you could learn, because you feel that shift in energy, or if you're trying to get into a relationship, if you're pursuing somebody that obviously does not want you, the universe is saying no. You know, I see this meme sometimes floating around on social media where it says something to the effect of nothing is worse than meeting the right person at the wrong time. And that is the most arrogant, ignorant fucking thing that anybody could say. Meet the right person at the wrong time. How stupid do you think the universe is? You may as well be saying, I know everything. I know more than the universe. You ain't going to meet the right person at the wrong time. If the timing is bad and you meet somebody and you're really digging them and they're really digging you, but no matter what you do, something gets in the way and blocks the two of you from coming together, that means no. Universe said, no, that's not the right person. You know what I'm saying? That's bugging me. It just irritates the shit out of me how some people, what, I don't know, man. It's like, dude, you need to learn when the universe says yes and when the universe says no. And I'm not saying it's an easy path to walk, but it's easy in a different way. Like it's hard to let go and just kind of let things happen. Finding that balance. You got to find it's all a balancing act, dude. Because in this life, everything takes work and effort. Everything does. You can't get anything done without work and effort. But what we have to figure out is, where do I draw the line between putting forth honest work and effort and crossing that line into trying to fight a losing battle? You know, where identifying where that line is of push, push, push. But when you get so much pushback from the universe, how do you know when to just step back and say, all right, then, universe, I guess you don't want me to do this. Okay. And then, like I said, when the universe says yes, when the universe opens a door, do you know how many people come to me for readings and they'll say, I got this new opportunity. Should I do it? And it's like, you tell me. The universe opened a door and invited you in. You tell me if you should do it. Now, I know what they're asking. What they're asking is this going to be a positive experience, is what they're asking. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much in the retrospective grand scheme of things, because if the universe opens a door and invites you in for some reason that's part of your soul experience, that's part of the plan. You know, that's part of the plan. Because this shit doesn't happen. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing. You have never met any person by accident. Even the worst, most toxic, failed relationship you've ever been in was not by accident. There's always a reason. And the more I think we can start living our life with the mentality of, what was the reason for that? You know, something bad happens to you. And to be able to pop away and think, I wonder why the universe made that happen. I wonder why. That's hard to do. That's really hard, especially if it's something bad, painful, and scary. If you take a step back and say, okay, well, the universe is doing this so that it can bless me later on down the line. If you can maintain that mentality, you can maintain that, looking for a positive in every negative situation, even if you don't see it right away, taking a step back and saying, okay, well, one of these days, this is going to make sense. One of these days, I'm going to understand why the universe made it happen this way. That right there, man, that's a good 75% of the smoothing of the path, you know? Anywho, though, yeah, it's about 7 o'clock. Probably gonna grab me a little bite to eat here in a minute. We'll be getting off here in just a minute. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I'm trying to at least do this maybe once a week. Kelly came and stayed with us last week though, so I didn't want to wake her up in the morning doing this. That's why I didn't come on last week, but I'm gonna try to put forth the effort to get on here more often. This is my wake up time. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and grab some breakfast, though. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me run my mouth. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.